I really wanted to answer this question because I used to think the same thing myself. I would see these incredible cosplays and props and I would think, how do you even begin to get into this hobby? I want to begin by saying cosplay is not a cheap hobby, so I definitely want to acknowledge that it's a privilege to be able to cosplay. That being said, cosplay has become more accessible now than it ever has been. There are so many pre-made cosplays, cosplay materials, and so many online resources that just simply didn't exist 15 years ago. So my first tip on getting into cosplay is to do some research, and by that I mean watching YouTube tutorials, following cosplayers online and seeing what they post. A lot of cosplayers post work in progress photos, which shows you step by step how they did something. Or on TikTok, there's tons of people like me that like to post time lapses, answer questions, and share with you how they made what they did. I cannot even explain to you the amount of hours I have spent watching other cosplayers or creators online, describing what they do, how they do it, exactly what materials they use, and how much value that knowledge has given me throughout the years. Through that research, you're gonna start to get an understanding about what types of materials are used and what types of techniques can be used to achieve a certain look. So, once you feel like you've done enough research and you have an idea of the types of materials that are commonly used in cosplay, think of something that you want to make. It can be something as small as a character's dagger or a character's hat. Some cosplayers even have tutorials from start to finish on how they made a particular item in full detail. So I think starting off by following other cosplayers' tutorials just to begin to start practicing creating something is a great place to start. Often these tutorials, they not only show you everything that they're doing, but they'll explain to you what materials they're using, what tools they're using, why they're doing it that way, how long it took, and just what to expect in terms of price and everything from top to bottom. So I really encourage that route because I think once you create your first thing, it really can be a catalyst to kind of like be like, okay, I'm so excited. I brought this thing to life that didn't exist outside of a screen. My over the garden wall prop is unlike anything I have ever made before. I have been cosplaying since 2014. So I've had a pretty decent amount of experience creating different types of cosplays, but specifically things that I wear or a prop that I would hold. But this is completely out of my comfort zone. I wanted to make something that I would have been excited to see at a con. I had always wanted to cosplay over the garden wall, but there was never any characters that I felt like, number one, I would embody very well, or number two, that I loved enough, because these were my favorite characters and I didn't feel like there was anything I could put on that would embody that. So that's kind of how I came up with this idea. And when I was sketching it out, I felt like a mad scientist because I was like, I've not only never done anything like this before, but I've never known anybody that has made something like this before. I don't even know where to begin with researching how to make something like this. So I kind of went on like a wild chase of like prop making, puppet making, large scale kind of theater props. Like I looked into furries, how they make different structures for that, ballroom skirts, like you see the big hoop skirts. Like I had to combine so many different types of creation into this one product, and it honestly was so much fun. It was very overwhelming, but I kept encouraging myself to just go for it and not be afraid of failing. Obviously, having several years of cosplay experience really helped me achieve what you saw me do with this project, but I promise you, if I would have been too afraid to even challenge myself and try, we would have never gotten to see this come to life. So my TLDR message here is do some research, try to learn as much as you can on the internet and from other cosplayers, and don't be afraid to try. You might surprise yourself. This is a skill that only gets better with time and practice, so please don't be discouraged if the first thing that you make isn't living up to your expectations or the level that you want to be at immediately, because everyone has to start somewhere. So thank you again to this commenter for asking this question. I have once been in your shoes and I had the exact same questions, and I promise you, if you have the passion and the desire to create, all it takes is research, practice, trial and error, and I wish you so much luck. I am excited to see what you create, and just really rely on the internet community and the encouragement of other cosplayers, because no one is more excited to see what you're going to make than people who are just like you, sitting in their basements, you know, slaving over this thing that like their parents and grandparents have no idea what the fuck it is. That being said, thank you for watching. I will continue to share any tips and tricks as well as my future projects. I am so grateful for the amount of love that this project got. I think that just has a lot to do with how beloved Over the Garden Wall was. So to see something literally pulled out of the screen and in front of your eyes, like, it's just, that's what cosplay's about. So I'll see y'all later, and thanks for watching.